Can I embarrass myself off the start of
Sure.
this conversation?
We
Encourage it.
like that. We've already done that.
As Blake wonders about Eye of the Tiger and Survivor. First year university, 1990, University of Guelph. Your boy Jeff Marek, every day in the gym on his Sony Walkman, had a 90-minute Maxell tape. One side Eye of the Tiger, other side theme from Rocky. Every single day. So it was 90 minutes of Eye of the Tiger, 90 minutes of theme from Rocky.
Just looping
Yes.
the same song?
Correct. That's how embarrassing I was.
Now, I mean,
That's how embarrassing I was.
in fairness, the film and the song were only like 15 years old at that point. So,
Oh yeah. It was still
I mean-
kind of cool, but then like 2 weeks later, Nirvana happened, and this exploded the whole music scene, and no one was listening to Survivor or Whitney Houston or Huey Lewis or anything like that. It was all about grunge rock. The other thing that I want to point out to you guys quickly, I'm just sort of hijacking your show. You guys sent me down a rabbit hole yesterday that I'm still pulling out of from your last pod. I'm trying to figure out what happened to Akito Hirose and why he went to Germany. Because normally,
you're the
and
only
like
one, Jeff.
no, like I love stuff like this. And
I
you guys
know
just sort
you
of
do.
mentioned it in passing, and I'm like, hey, you know what? That's a really good question. And so you sort of see, and he was the victim of a number crunch, and he kind of got in this spot where, he was in a sort of a mix of three different defenders, and if you had a bad game, you were out, and it was tough to get back in. But normally, I mean, you win a Calder Cup, and you're on the roster. Like, he had a really good final as well. Normally, you can parlay that into another contract, at least with another American Hockey League team.
Right, you think.
And
Right.
and the other thing about it is he still doesn't qualify as a veteran. And in the American Hockey League, the way, because there's all different types of vet rules, you have to have 12 players on the roster that have played less than 260 games in either the NHL, American League, or European Elite League, not the ECHL. So it's not as if he was going to be victim of a number crunch. Oh, we already have all of our veteran spots taken. He still wouldn't have qualified as a veteran. I'm talking to someone later on this afternoon to try to figure out, like, did anybody else call? Were other teams available? He could help a team on a power play in the American Hockey League. You got a ring coming along with it. Like, I think that it was just like a sort of an aside comment that you guys talked about yesterday. But now this has sent me down this, and I love doing stuff like this, goofy little Hirose rabbit
Akito
hole.
Hirose insider.
There you
Jeff.
go. Jeff Marek joins us. And
Everything
Let me
you've
just-
always wanted to know about Akito Hirose, but we're afraid to ask on S&P.
let me just add a couple of, one correction, one piece of context, because our audience is much younger now. They're on YouTube, Jeff. Survivor is the artist who sang "Eye of the Tiger."
Correct.
If you're
Yes.
unfamiliar. And
Yes.
I actually forgot. "Eye of the Tiger" was not around the first film. It was on later Rocky. It was released 1982. So it was only like 8 years
Rocky
old when
3.
you were listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was still,
Yeah.
I was
It was
still
still
cool.
reasonably contemporary.
My mom thought I was cool. I don't know, but my mom thought it was pretty cool here in their son in the garage doing
I thought some-
incline
I
bench,
I
incline
think
chest
some
press.
of the Guelph co-eds were like, "Look at that guy!
Well, hang
He's got
on.
it going on, and he's listening to."
You know who one of them was? A very young Cassie Campbell, soon to be Cassie
Oh,
Campbell.
you've told us that before.
Yes, she was the star on campus.
He's got Luke Hughes info that I'd at some point like to get to.
Okay, sorry. I want to talk about the other defenseman, Hirose, the guy's playing in the DEL, and you guys want to go on about Luke Hughes. Okay, fine. Okay, fine, whatever. Your show.
Because he texted me this morning. I want to talk about Luke. I got something on Luke. Please, let's get into it. Luke Hughes.
Here's what I wonder. I was talking to James Nichols about this from NJD now the other day. And one of the things that I think we're all sort of wondering about here is, on the one hand, this is about Luke Hughes and the New Jersey Devils in this contract. Absolutely. There's all the sidebar stuff and conversation about Quinn and the Devils and Jack and bring them here and play with brothers and all that. But let's wonder here for a second if some of this doesn't have to do with what's happening at the agent side as well. And I'll bring up Jack Hughes and I'll bring up Nathan McKinnon, two players both represented by CAA and Pat Brisson, who, what have we said about the contracts? Man, those are value deals for those teams. Those players are, quote unquote, leaving money on the table. Like, how many times do we talk about the luxury that the Avalanche had, having Nathan MacKinnon under a deal where he was making in the neighborhood of $6 million, and how much money he had left on the table? And I do wonder if now, with the salary cap going up as significantly as it is, I wonder if part of this is we want to make sure here at CAA that our players don't leave significant amounts of money on the table. We don't want our guys to be the quote unquote best value contract in the league. I wonder if that is part of this. I really do.
I think you're probably right. I'm also trying to understand this from the New Jersey and Tom Fitzgerald side of things, Jeff, because this one over here believes, and I would like your take on this, the Canucks should make New Jersey a godfather offer for Luke Hughes. Wholly overpay to get the second Hughes brother here.
Which they might hang up the phone anyhow. They might just say, absolutely not.
Tom Fitzgerald must understand that having Luke with Jack is worth more than what you would give contract-wise to a kid named Luke Smith.
Yes.
So why don't you just bite the bullet, overpay on Luke Hughes, knowing when you have the two Hughes brothers, you're going to be able or should be able to lure in the third Hughes brother at some point. Like, why would you nickel dime the Hughes family is my question here.
I don't disagree. I think that this one is a really, given how much the cap is going up, like, this is a really tricky needle to thread, knowing that on the one hand, the kid needs to be adequately compensated, but you're not just compensating for what he's already done. You're still projecting, right? Like, this is still there's gold in them hills out there type contract, right? You're a speculator now when you're doing this contract. The other is keeping Jack happy too. I really think, like, this is a situation not unlike the Canucks. I remember talking to Matthew Tkachuk at the NHL Players Tour a few years ago, and this is when Brady Tkachuk was going through his contract situation with Pierre Dorion, Eugene Melnyk, and the Ottawa Senators. And he said, like, look, like, you have to remember, when you negotiate with one Tkachuk, you negotiate with all of us. You negotiate with Brady, you negotiate with the agent, you negotiate with me, you negotiate with my dad, and I think what Matthew was trying to say is, like, I will go out there actively and lobby for my brother and lobby for his rights. And I think the Hughes brothers do it in more of a minor key than the Tkachuks do it. Like, the Tkachuks do it with the volume on 11. But I think the Hughes family is the exact same way. Like, you're doing a deal with one of us, you're doing a deal with all of us. And I think, like, you guys saw the reaction at the draft when New Jersey took Luke Hughes and had the camera on Jack. Like, you saw, like, it was the cork just popped out of a champagne bottle. Like, this is the most amazing. So I think there's a couple of different dynamics at play here with this Luke Hughes deal. I'll tell you what, I misread this situation completely. I thought of all deals, like, this is going to be a restricted free agent deal that was going to get done before training camp. You have, a player who grew up in a hockey household. You have a father who's one of the wisest people in hockey, period, works at CAA. New Jersey understands exactly what's at stake here and the value of this player and how much they have invested in that family. And yes, we can even have the sidebar conversation about another family member joining, and you don't want to soil that water. So maybe as I look back on it,
he's also a 10-2C, Jeff. He can't even be official. I know. So there's not even that drama. Like, it's just straightforward. And there's no hurt feelings now because you've only missed one, maybe two preseason games. But the minute he misses a regular season game, don't you start to risk hurt feelings if you're Fitzgerald?
Well, because he's missing paychecks at that point too.
Yeah. Again, like, it's not good for the situation is not good for anybody, especially like older players. Okay, you can kind of understand it. Your skin is a little bit thicker. You're a little bit more cynical, more going to, dig in for your rights. There's no, and you've been in the NHL for a number of years. There's no value in young players missing training camp time. Like, I understand this is a negotiation. It's a very sophisticated dance for a very elite level player in the NHL, but this does nobody any good whatsoever. But then I keep coming back to, okay, so, like, what's the number? Given where the cap is at and all the other variables that come into this thing, because you're not just negotiating just a number here. You are negotiating and massaging relationships at the same time. And Matt, to your point, Hurt feelings are very much a thing when it comes to negotiations, and when you're dealing with not just a player but a family.
That's right. Let's move on.
Yeah. Can I get into Filip Chytil? You've probably seen a bunch of Eastern Conference Filip Chytil games. Do you think it has ever been said, preseason or otherwise, Filip Chytil was the best player on the ice? Because we had that the other night, and that, if you're looking for all, the smallest of branches to hold on to for Canucks fans, that they might have a 2C. Do you think that's ever been uttered about Filip Chytil at the NHL level?
I mean, there were times on the kid line where it's like, wow, man, Chytil just had an awesome game. Like there were times where that line was the best line on the ice for the New York Rangers, full stop. Mm-hmm. But right now, the bar, it's kind of like when we first saw Jack Eichel coming off ADR surgery, playing for Vegas, and you're like, okay, let's see the first hit. Okay, he's all right. Oh, there's another hit. Okay, he's okay. He's not going to the bench. Like right now, it's just. And you guys had an interesting conversation about this, about how many games is too many games in the preseason. Right now, it's just get through a game, and then get through another game. And I don't think anyone's comfortable quite yet, given the concussion history. I think they want to see more of a runway here until they start to feel comfortable. But in these scant couple of games that we've seen Chytil so far, he's performed like you want. Right? A, healthy, made it through the games. B, looked impressive. I get that it's training. I get that it's preseason. We understand all of that. But all you can do is play the game that's before you. And he's played the game that's before you. He played well, and he made it through the games. Awesome. Great. First hurdle jumped over. Great.
Check 1, 2.
I want to ask him about Braden Cootes because we may not have occasion next week. And Jeff so loves his junior.
I love him, and I love this guy. I love this guy.
Tell me about him then.
I love him. He's fast. It's funny too. There's one person who coached him internationally who said he's the right shot Reshny. He's the right shot Cole Reshny. He said, like, Calgary and Vancouver both got similar players. One shoots left and one shoots right, and they both got really good guys here. I like him a lot. He's a really smart player. He thinks quick. If this were another team, I would maybe see more value. I would see the value of giving him the 9-game experience and giving him the taste. The only thing about Cootes, and he's going to be a Vancouver Canuck for a really long time. The only thing is, like, every game is crucial out of the gate for the Vancouver Canucks. I don't know that right now, this season specifically, you want to break in kids, given how high the stakes are in Vancouver. I think in another incarnation of the Vancouver Canucks, are on a different team that's in a different place in their win cycle, you might look at them and say, yeah, you know what? Let's like the Flyers did with Jet Luchenko, right? Or the Bruins did with Matthew Poitras. Like, okay, yeah, we can see if we can break a kid in here early. I don't think if you're Vancouver, you can afford that. I really don't.
Different in 19 too, right? Different in 19. Like a year from now, would it be a different?
Absolutely, I will. Absolutely.
Yeah. Jeff.
Yeah.
Their 3 and 4C are Atu Ratu and Teddy Bluger.
I understand that. But these are still professionals too. Like, you're Adam Foote, you tap someone on the shoulder. You want to know what they are going, like, you know what Bluger's going to do. You have a pretty good idea of what Ratu's going to do. Now, do they have as high a ceiling in their careers as right shot Reshny has? No, Braden Cootes is going to be a much superior skilled player than these two. But if you're Adam Foote and like right out of the gate, you need wins. You need to start piling it up. You need to know what everybody's doing when they hit the ice. There's no time for guessing. But listen, great player. Okay. Great player.
We have reached the Easter egg.
Is it about Hirose? Is it about Akito
Hirose? I've been simmering on this one for 3 weeks because.
Oh, geez.
In fact, I have to go back to the 300-page notebook that I was using up until a couple of weeks ago to find my notes on this. So the theme is Canucks who went on to be captains. And do you want the easy, do you want the moderate, or do you want the difficult question here?
Do we have time to do all three? Do we have time to do all three?
Easy and moderate sort of overlap. So
okay.
If I give you one, you will know.
Go moderate. If he gets it, then we go to hard. Come on.
Okay. All right.
Get on with it.
Okay.
How many Vancouver Canucks went on to captain other NHL teams? The easy would have been give me 5 Vancouver Canucks who went on to captain.
Right. So I'm gonna say, geez, I'm going back to 1970 here, boys. I'm gonna say 10.
Blake?
I'll take the under. I'll go 8.
Okay. The answer after JT Miller, 13.
Really?
13, hey?
Mm-hmm. Now, here's the degree of difficulty.
Okay.
3 former Vancouver Canucks went on to captain 2 different NHL teams.
Did Linden ever captain the...
Linden captained the New York Islanders and
Linden
only
is
the
one.
New York Islanders.
Yeah.
But the New York Islanders I don't want to screw up the Easter egg. The New York Islanders feature amongst the 3 who went on to captain 2 NHL teams.
Oh, that is...
Wow.
And in fact, I'll give you another hint.
Okay.
The Florida Panthers feature with 2 of these gentlemen who went on to captain 2 different NHL teams.
So Vancouver first, and then the other.
Then they went on to captain 2 separate NHL teams. 2 of these guys went on to captain the Florida Panthers. 2 of these guys went on to captain the New York Islanders.
Was Roberto Luongo ever the captain of the Florida?
No. None of them are named Trevor Linden or Pavel Bure either.
That one now has got me completely flummoxed because what former Canuck was a captain of the Florida Panthers?
I was. Believe it or not, there are 4 former Vancouver Canucks who went on to captain the Florida Panthers. It's staggering, I know.
The C
in Florida.
Mind blown. I'm out. My brain doesn't work.
I don't know. Who is it?
Okay. Michael Pekka went on to captain the Buffalo Sabres and the New York Islanders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian McCabe went on to captain the New York Islanders and the Florida Panthers.
But he wasn't a captain here. Didn't you have to be a captain here? That wasn't criteria?
No. Oh, hang on. I thought he had to captain the Vancouver Canucks.
Vancouver Canucks went on to captain. Okay. I did not say former Canucks captains.
I was just going through the roster of Vancouver Canucks captains and going, that doesn't...
Mike, we'll check the tape, but this one isn't on me. I believe I was clear. And Ed Jovanovski went on to captain...
I would have
briefly the Arizona Coyotes because Shane Doan was suspended, and then the Florida Panthers.
I would have said that because that was the first thing that came to my mind was Joe, but I'm like, he never captained the Vancouver Canucks. Oh, yeah. That's where I got
Did
stuck.
I make another Easter egg?
It may have been just
no. Mike is shaking his head.
I think that egg was a little bit cracked. I think perhaps there was a little bit of yolk spilled.
Okay.
On this one. Great question though.
Yeah. Pavel Bure, Willie Mitchell, the other Vancouver Canucks who captained the Florida Panthers.
Wow.
Willie Longstick Mitchell.
And the full list, Pat Quinn, Don Lever, the original captain of the New Jersey Devils.
Calder Cup champion coach.
Rick Vive, the captain in Toronto before he was stripped. Garth Butcher in St. Louis. Messier after Vancouver, back to the Rangers to captain them. Pavel Bure in Florida. Adrian Aucoin in Chicago. Then Jovo, Willie Mitchell, and of course the most recent.
That's why I asked you about Linden, because I was just thinking former captains.
No.
Was it okay? Here's my question, and I ask legitimately. Maybe you guys know. Was Adrian Aucoin the last player in the NHL to use a wooden stick?
Oh, good question.
Or was it Jason Spezza? Or was Spezza's a 2-piece?
I think that's a trivia question that I've heard within the last few years, and I don't think it was either of them.
So my first year covering the league was 01-02, and the composites were like brush fire going through dressing rooms.
And no one could take a pass. No one could take a pass with them. They bounced off every blade.
I want to say Dmitry Yushkevich was on a wood stick, but I'm.
Google AI says it is widely accepted. No one knows it, but it is widely accepted that it is Adrian Aucoin.
Okay.
Oh, it is.
Full wood. That stands to reason.
Henrik Lundqvist is a goal.
Mike's chiming in that this. Of course, he's from the island. They do logging there. It was a big hit for many years that they could claim the wood in NHL sticks, and then it destroyed an industry. What are you saying?
He was the last to use a full wooden stick. Others used blades. And yes, we had the largest hockey stick in the world on the island.
That's right.
Duncan, right?
I just remember, that's where my sister lives. I just remember watching Aucoin. There was that stretch where he was like a shootout specialist.
Right.
You remember that? Like he was like an 8 for 8. He went on the stretch where like Adrian Aucoin turned into UC Jokinen. He just like could not miss on the shootouts.
Great shot too.
He would do the Brian Rolston, right? He would come in and like just above the hash marks, scratch his back with the blade and let one rip. Oh yeah, he was wild to watch on the shootouts. It was fun.
Does he not still hold the Canucks record for goals in a season by a defenseman?
Yeah, 23.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's an Adrian Aucoin appreciation podcast here. It turned into today.
Well, he was a good player.
We started talking about Akito Hirose, and now we got to Adrian Aucoin. You guys have the best show going. This show is tailor-made for me. It's like you designed this show for my ears. Like Hirose and Aucoin, sign me up.
We aim to place Hirose, Aucoin, Don Lever, first captain
and Don Lever,
Devils.
Hamilton Bulldogs, Calder Cup champion coach, Don Lever.
Yeah, we even worked in Vive for you in Toronto and Butcher for him.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Have a great week.
Okay, hang on. Who from that St. Louis Blues team? You know what? I'm gonna do this next. I have an Easter egg for you guys.
Yeah.
Based on what we just said. I got one for you already.
You want to do rotating Easter eggs, Marek, where you get after us every second week. I'm down.
Well, Blake just tweaked me to something. So next week I got the Easter egg.
Okay. Thanks,
boys.